Hi everyone. So this weekend I recently revisited and rewatched a movie called The Intern. Now this movie, just a brief plot, it stars Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro. Anna Hathaway is a very promising, very enterprising young CEO whose company is doing very, very well. She's a startup founder, and now they are looking to probably, take the business public. And because she's very busy, her day is completely hectic. The team decides that she should have an intern. Now, uh, counter to the normal scenario, this time they don't want an intern who is a 20-year-old, fresh out of college grad who is helping the normal definition of intern. This time they don't want that. The team decides that she should have a senior intern. This is somewhat, showing the concept reverse mentoring, where you have a senior person who is under a junior person, and they are guiding and learning. All both of them are learning along the way. Now the entire movie is how Robert De Niro, a 70-year-old gentleman, acts out as an intern. He starts as an intern, and then how he becomes a confidant, a very, very important employee of the company, and how he's able to give that support, uh, financial support, business support, emotional support to the CEO and the entire team. That's the entire movie about. When I was watching, I could pick out few insights, and I thought I would just put it on YouTube. These are my core insights for leaders, for interns, for anybody who's trying to make big in a corporate environment. I could pick up certain nuances from that movie, which they have showed very beautifully, and how it could be helpful to those, probably to me at the outset, and probably even to others who are watching this video. So I thought I would just pick up, three, four insights from there and present it to you. So that's the video going to be out about, certain insights about this video and the movie called The Intern. Now, the first insight that I could probably, and I think that's every leader should do, is, at somewhere in the second half, when Jules, who is Anne Hathaway, played by Anne Hathaway, the CEO, uh, when she is having a one-on-one with Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro is listening to her, her outburst, emotional outburst, and he is listening how she's having the business. The concern is she's concerned about the new CEO who's going to come. How will the new CEO take the company? Is the vision shared? Is will he or she have the same pedigree, same hunger for growth? All those things. She's concerned. Now the founder is concerned how the CEO will be, and she's bursting all of this to Robert De Niro. And then after around 2 minutes of a dialogue with Robert, Anne Hathaway says, "You make me feel calm. You make me feel calm. I know there's a reason why you are here." Now, this line struck with me a very different chord. You know, I mean, when I was looking at it, I could see that, okay, do leaders make you feel calm? Maybe your boss, maybe your super boss. Can you say to them that, you make me feel calm? I think that's a very different pedigree of leadership which is required, where, your mere presence creates that calm in the team, right? Most of the conventional leadership, the traditional leadership, drives from authoritarian point of view, where they induce fear, or let's say a reward. You have a carrot and stick approach, where when a leader walks in, if you see Devil Wears a Prada, when the ma'am walks in, the entire office is in chaos, everybody is shuddering literally. That's one style of leadership, where you create fear in the minds of your team members. Here, when Anne Hathaway says to Robert De Niro, ki, "You create a calm in me." The question to leaders all out there is, can your teammates say this about you? You create a calm. And I think that as we move forward, when Gen Z enters the workforce, when there's a disruption at a very rapid pace in all the fronts of businesses, I think teams whose leader create that calm will definitely, outrun the teams that run on fear. That's insight number one. Coming to insight number two, I think that's one of my favorite insights. So again, if you have seen the movie, you realize that Anne Hathaway has that habit. I think she has OCD. So she wants certain things in a certain place, very aligned, very very systematically done. But because it's a startup office, there's a table which has, you know, it's a junkyard. The table has become junk because anybody who doesn't need any file, let's say, just puts it there. Anybody who does not need, let's say, this notebook or sticky note or whatever they don't need, they just go and just dump it there. So in the middle of the office, there is a table which has all this junk, and whenever Anne Hathaway crosses, she is literally pissed. Okay. Now, in the starting days of Robert Niro, the intern, right? Starting days, nobody is giving him any vow, especially the CEO, right? And he wants to get noticed. So obviously he starts working with other departments. You see him interacting with all the marketing, the production, the operations. Though he's the intern of the CEO, he's interacting with every department, and that's why I think he observes. The intern observes that this office pile really pisses off the CEO, Anna Hathaway. Next day, when Anna Hathaway comes, that entire desk, that junk pile, is not there now. It is cleared up. It is cleaned. So the first thing she asks is, "Who did this? Who did this?" And that's when Robert De Niro just raises his hand. Ki, yeah, I have done it. Now immediately, the intern who was not being noticed at all becomes noticeable. The insight for me was, maybe you are entering a new role, maybe you are maybe joining a new team, maybe you are a fresher out of the college, maybe you are an intern, and everybody wants to get noticed. So I think the insight that I could think from there was, are you doing something which will get you noticed? Now these need not be the flashy things, solving the biggest problem, coming up with a brilliant out of the box idea. It need not be this. It could be such things, but it need not be this. It could be a very simple, in the front of your eye problem which everybody else is avoiding. In this case, that junk pile which was there on the office table, and this is something that is really troublesome for the CEO, for your decision maker. So as an intern, if you want to get noticed, the invitation here is to consider, what is one of the biggest problems that your leader, your boss, your CEO is facing, and how can you contribute to that problem, right? And obviously problem will not walk and tell you, ki, that's who I am, this is the problem that I'm trying to solve. You have to be observant and see how, what is it that your leader is facing, and how can you probably uh, contribute to alleviate that kind of a problem, right? So that's insight number one. Do something noticeable to get noticed, and it need not be flashy. It could be simple problems that your leader, your boss, your CEO is currently facing, which you can definitely work upon, right? That's the second insight that I could think from the movie. Now, when it comes to the third insight, I think one of them is obviously midlife crisis. So, Robert De Niro, in the very starting 5 minutes, if you are a leader, let's say, who is watching this, and you are, let's say, in your 40 to 45 years, I mean, I know one of my mentors said midlife crisis is no more midlife. It can happen anytime to you, right? But why Robert De Niro, gets excited to work is because he is facing this midlife crisis. I mean, it's almost at the fag end. His partner suddenly, I mean, she is no more, so he is not able to bear that, pain of separation. He wants something new, to get back to that routine life. So that's where I think he comes to do this kind of a work. Otherwise, so after the death of his partner, he has done everything. He has done yoga, he has done meditation, he has gone on a world tour. He has tried to keep himself occupied. Okay, but somehow he is not able to fill that void, and even he says in that movie, there is something that needs to be filled still in my life, right? So leaders usually face this. Leaders, startup founders, and I know somebody said this, it's very lonely at the top. Once you have scaled up, once you have gone there, once you're a CEO of a company, it looks very, very enticing, but it's actually very, very lonely at the top. So it's genuine to feel lonely. And I think at that point of time, what Robert De Niro did was took some actions to fill that void. And many leaders, I feel, they might not be up for it. They think, okay, I've hit my 45, 50, no more redemption for me. That's not the case. You can always start a new thing. A 70-year-old guy who was Robert De Niro, he jumps back to come into the business and be an intern, right? So only action can fight that crisis, the midlife crisis, or whatever you're feeling, that void in your life, as in professional life, in personal life. Only actions can, get you. And the ability to start afresh, start from beginning as an intern. I mean, that I just love that fact that Robert De Niro did, right? An accomplished businessman. I mean, he worked 40 years in a industry where they used to make phone books in that movie. After 40 years, he retired as a VP of sales and marketing in that particular thing. But after that, he felt that void, and he immediately jumped back to create. I mean, fill that void by starting afresh as an intern, right? So, dear leaders, if you are probably staring at a midlife crisis or staring at a big failure, it could be startup founders not having scaled up, anything. Remember that only actions can probably, fill that void, and the ability to start from afresh. Finally, one more, I would share just one more insight. It just came to me right now when I was talking. It just struck me. So, as I said, he was working 40 years as a AVP. So initially, if you see the first maybe 70% of the movie, Anne Hathaway is using the intern Robert De Niro for all minimal chores. Okay, I mean, that Robert De Niro is driving her, getting coffee for her, maybe taking the baby to the park, and all of those things, basic chores he is doing. When she gets to know that this person was a AVP or VP sales and marketing for that phone book company, which ran for 40 years, immediately the CEO gives a bunch of Excel sheets to Robert De Niro and says, "Ki find out certain insights from this for me, from this data." And then he gives and just goes away. And then all of us are looking at it. You're giving the intern this work. It's a critical business decision. You're giving this work to the intern. And then Anne Hathaway says, uh, "You don't know. This fellow was a 40 years as a VP marketing in a phone book company. He knows business." Now, I mean, when she said that, a very beautiful quality of a leader emerged in my mind. As a leader, are you able to see the people beyond their role, beyond their resume, something that they are capable of, but maybe not there in their JD, right? And if you're able to spot that he is not an intern to drive me around, I can definitely leverage him to, go through data and give some insights, business decision for me. So, can you identify those people in your team who know the business, who have that knack to identify, okay, this is the problem, this could be a solution, this could be the way how I will bridge this gap from problem to solution. Can you have some people in your team whom you can see something which is not there on their JD or resume, something which you feel is their potential, and you can maybe push them, nudge them to play to their potential, not just help you drive around, not just help you do minimal chores, make them partners in business's success. I think that's something that the CEO, and that's what probably made her startup do very well. Anne Hathaway had that knack to identify people and make them her partner in that success because they understood the business, right? So I think that's one of the critical insights I think I should share. So these are three, four insights. There are many more. Actually, there are many more. When Robert De Niro comes back after doing that work, he comes with the report and he says, I have realized that in so and so region, you guys are spending a lot and getting very less revenue. On the counter, this is another reason where you're spending very less, but the revenue coming is very great, right? It's huge. Proportionately, it's huge. So that time, everybody claps for Robert De Niro. Even the CEO, Anne Hathaway, also shares very good insight. But do you know what Robert says? Again, it's striking me, so I'm just sharing. Robert says, "Yeah, I know it's a critical insight. Thank you for that. But uh, the CEO, Anne Hathaway, had an assistant. She has an MBA from I mean Harvard, I think Harvard, Oxford, somewhere. Okay, she's a big girl, but she has never been able to get noticed by the CEO. So now this Robert says, "Ki yeah, the report is good, the insight is good, but your assistance has helped me a lot in this. He's not taking the entire credit for this. He's ensuring that the person who has probably worked with him for this report gets a due credit. And he says, it will be good. Robert De Niro says to the CEO, it will be good if you can definitely, pat her back, maybe give a good compliment to her, thank her for this report. Wow. As a team member, if I know somebody has probably put in more effort than me, somebody has got that insight. Today we are talking all over on LinkedIn about how leaders eat others, steal others limelight, how leaders take credit, all of those things. Robert De Niro is teaching here in this movie, in case somebody has worked with you on a project and probably they have contributed, it's your responsibility to share to the management, to the boss, to the leader, ki not only me, the person also has worked. Please give a compliment. Please praise him or her. Right. So again, this again came out of the blue. So that fine. That's all. I think I'll not keep it longer. But these are a few insights that I could derive from the movie Intern. For any leader, any CEO, any team member, any intern as well, can definitely learn a lot from this movie. To watch it, it's a beautiful watch. It's just a 2 hour movie. Take a break, go on a Sunday, put it on Netflix or Amazon or whichever platform you use. Do watch it. You will probably get much more insights, much more deeper insights than this. Thank you. Looking forward to hearing from you.